Now, times we are now doing digital, isn't it? We're not doing digital, we're not doing biometrics, we're not doing e-records keeping. Innovations are coming up, different kinds of innovations. And from time to time, these rules are looked at again from time to time. From time to time. There are very different processes in reviewing the public service rules. Now, what are these rules? What are these rules? They are guidelines. They are principles that you must follow. In public service, government doing anything in the society, whether programs, whether projects, it is public service. And that instrument which government uses to achieve that purpose is called the public servant. Now, when you bring these public servants together to achieve that thing, there must be rules and regulations. There must be rules and regulations to follow. And when you give rules and regulations, you also give consequence. If you fail in this regard, this is the consequence. If you fail in this regard, this is the consequence. So that's what we do with the public service rule. And these rules is applicable everywhere across ministries, departments, and agencies. We cannot have a different rule for Ministry of Finance and a different rule for Ministry of Health. The public service rule is the public service rule across all MDAs. If you are absenting yourself from work in Ministry of Environment, it is the same punitive measure that you get in Ministry of Environment that you get here in the Directorate of Government House if you are absenting yourself from work. It is applicable across all ministries, departments, and agencies. This is our let me pause to let me welcome retired head of service, our father. Put your hands together for him. Now, the major areas covered by the public service rules are how people get into the service. How people get into the service is covered in the rules. How you conduct yourself, disciplinary procedures, leave vacations, retirement, pension, and how we evaluate your performance. How we evaluate your performance. The public service rules guarantees fairness, consistency, merit, and accountability. However, these rules go from era to era. Goes from era to era. My grandfather worked with public service rules. My own father worked with public service rules. I am working with the public service rules today. I don't know whether Nigeria will work with it. I don't know. But from the era of my grandfather, the public service rules have gone from era to era to era. And these eras have their own peculiarities. These eras have their own peculiarities. We cannot be applying the same rules as it were in the days of my grandfather till now, because times have changed. A whole lot of things a lot of waters have gone under the bridge. So it is not as it was then that it is now. And that is the reason why the public service rules are reviewed from time to time. You understand me? That's why there are reviews from time to time to bring it to contemporary stage. You get what I'm saying? That's why it is reviewed from time to time. Now, these are the rationale. These are reasons why these rules are reviewed. One, it addresses emerging issues. New things are coming up. new economic breakthroughs, isn't it? New economic breakthrough. Government must rise up to meet with the current trend, whether in the economy, whether in the social circles, etc. Government must rise, and government must review. And in doing so, because you as a civil servant, you are the instrument of government to pursue its goals, to pursue its aims and objectives, there must be new rules, or there must be amendments of the subsisting rules for you to work with, because times are changing. So rules are reviewed because of new development, new technological changes, and evolving realities. Also, these rules also eliminate obsolete provisions. Some provisions of the rules as at the time of my grandfather are now obsolete. Those rules are for that society. You understand? We cannot apply it now. They are obsolete. So government causes a review. Now, every time we have new government, the mantra for our governor now, we have a mantra, isn't it? The more during Udwana, we had the 3 point. Then Okowa said, smart, have it? Yes. So government comes with policies every day, and we as civil servants, the books, everybody must key into it. If we want the government to succeed, if we want our society to move forward, we must all key. So sometimes these rules are reviewed from time to time to align with contemporary policies. You get it? I'm telling you now the rationale behind the review of regulations from time to time. They must align with contemporary policies, and they must respond to societal dynamics. As our society change, we change along with it. Where do you read secular letters from these days? Online. Secular letters, isn't it? It's not like before now. Before we have to go from ministry to ministry to ministry to ministry. But now, once the secular comes out on your phone, you have seen it. You respond to societal dynamics. Regulations come up from time to time in responding to societal dynamics to reposition for effectiveness. So these are reasons why these rules come up from time to time. Now, where are we getting these rules from? Like I said earlier, back then, it was known as what? General Order, GO. It was very strong in the mouth of the people we met in the GO. It was General Order. It was modeled like the British type of civil service. The same rules they applied in their civil service, they modeled it here. But over time, society began to change. Different countries in Africa started fighting for independence. You understand? And we have to come up with our own regulation, how to guide ourselves. Our cultural practices and so on are not the same with the British, isn't it? Yes, sir. Now we now had the regulations for the pre-independence. Then we now have the post-independence reform of the civil service. The post-independence reform. Now, the post-independence reform was headed by Adeyika Morgan. They call it the Morgan Commission. It reviewed wages and restructured the salaries. That was in 1963. Over time, after the Civil War, there was need again to look at the civil service again, to do the socio-cultural infusion. And we had the Adebo Commission in 1971. The Udoji Commission was very popular at that time. Our fathers were working with their shoulders high because they received so much money from the output of the Udoji Commission. can remember my father at that time, when he was walking, his leg was not touching the ground. He was floating. Too much dodgy commission. He brought in professionalism, management by objectives, and other results. Then the Dr. Phillips reform, brought in professionalism and created the directorate system. Now we have director of this, director of that, director of this, director of that. It was not so. You had a man called the Safe. That man was very safe. He was very powerful. Secretary for Administration, Finance and Establishment. Safe. Admin is under him. PRS is under him. DFA is under him. That is everything is one man. That man was very powerful. So it's that office of the safe that the Dr. Phillips Commission break into different departments. Created a directorate system. And it came up with which now you have director of this, director of that, director. You now have a director general. You understand me? When I joined the service, we had a director general. It was the permanent secretary that did not change to director general. You understand me? Because you have different directors, you now have one man as general. So there were a lot of flaws in that report. A whole lot of flaws in that report. So they had to set up the Alice National Review Panel to review the report of 1988. That report now restored permanent secretary position and still made the civil service neutral. He restored the permanent secretary. He trained the directorate system, but he restored the office of permanent secretary and made it not to be political, the career civil service. Now I'm going through all this one, trying to tell you the various processes the public service have gone through. The rules have to continue to flow with what was added over to us by the forefathers. And since the return to civilian rule in 1999, since we returned to civilian rule, we have seen a lot of reforms. There's the monetization policy, isn't it? We have the pension reforms. You just had the election of pensions, isn't it? You have the pension reforms. You have Servicom. You have the Public Procurement Act. It's a reform. Then you have the integrated payroll and personnel systems. Since the return to democracy, we have had different kinds of reforms initiated by government, all to make the system better and all to bring the rules and the service generally to modern reality as things change from time to time. The objective of this is to enhance efficiency, accountability, transparency, and service delivery. Now, one of the major means with which government announces a reform or a new rule is issuance of circular, isn't it? Issuance of circular. When government want to announce a new practice, they issue circular. From henceforth, this is how we will be operating this thing. Now, the purpose of some of these things, you know that there are some I remember some years ago I wanted to travel, and they told me that my travel allowance was 45 naira. Yes, that was what the rule said. 45 naira. It has not been reviewed at that time. You get it? So if we don't bring this thing, don't review the rules, we will be stuck to ancient days. It was 45 naira. I couldn't go. If now you know we go. Now, when we try to bring the rules to modern reality, when we are doing that, we are strengthening accountability. Our performance is strengthened, which is increased. And at the same time, we are promoting ethics. Then also, the digital aspect of it is also very fast. Me, I joined the civil service as a confidential secretary. As a confidential secretary. Do you know what we used to work with? What kind of typewriter? There was Imperial. There was Olympia. There was Olivetti. IPL now was big people. There was Olivetti, there was Imperial, there was Olympia. You understand me? You can type 10 pages. You can type 10 pages and your guy make correction. You go and type it all over again. You type it all over again. That is why at that time you always see secretaries, they are always typing. You type it all over again. Do you know what it is? Another way, we're doing our work, isn't it? We're doing our work. You know, just imagine budget. As big as it is, you type it. They make a correction. You type it all over again. That's how it works. Now, you are with your phone, you can look at circular letters, isn't it? That time, do you know what they call stencil?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
You know stencil? For government to issue a letter, they have to type it on stencil. They cut the stencil. They have what they call duplicating machine. And they start rolling. All these little things you start rolling. Yeah? Then they will not, the organ will sign on the stencil. Then they will not go and start dispatching from ministry to ministry. But now with your phone, you are seeing every sector, isn't it? We are going into the digital era. So both you as a civil servant and the rules generally must respond to the changing times. We must all respond to the changing times. You cannot stay back there. We will leave you. Isn't it? If you decide to stay back there, we will leave you. Now, now, as we are growing into the new times, we are reviewing the rules. New circulars are coming up every day, changing one thing or the other. Like I just said, you have to stay relevant. We have to review the rules to remain relevant and effective. And you too, as a civil servant, you have to review your own practice. You get it? You have to review your own practice. I hear some people say that they don't have that, and that is why they didn't see information. Recently, we were filling something online from the office of the head of service, isn't it? The form was posted online, and we have to fill and submit. Go and stay in the civil service in the times of my father, and wait for the form to and fill such things. In that case, as we are filling and submitting, it is being received, isn't it? That is the life we are now. That is the life we are now. What was said, smart, isn't it? That is it, we have to be smart. Faithful implementation aligned with administrative realities, balance, stability, and innovation. To stable your system alongside the innovation that is coming up. I saw one big organization and I have to go through the past. Now, the public service rules in these days run with digits, technology. Remember clocking? These are digital transformation. We're clocking it, isn't it? Now you do biometric. You have your details in a central server, isn't it? We do biometric these days. Everything is going digital. Everything is going digital. You, as a staff, you have to respond to it and also be knowledgeable. even personnel management. There's a way you want information on a particular civil servant. You click your system, every information about the person responds. You don't have to go to one archive and be looking for files. Sometimes 4 or 5 days, you are still looking for files. Just to get one information about that officer. It was like that too. I met that system. Sometimes we go and look at money list. Okay, where did the file go next? Have you entered open registry? You still have a lot of years ahead of you. You must respond to these realities. Because when your boss is working with you and you are not responding fast to his desire, he will bench you. You understand me? He will bench you, and in that case, it is not his fault. You get it? It is not his fault. Your boss wants information. One or two buttons to get that information is coming to him. Do you know how he sees you? That you are very efficient, isn't it? But you won't go to look for fire. Oh God. That is it. So now, we have to align with global best practices all over the world, United Nations, ECOWAS. Everybody is aligned to modern practices. Everybody is aligned to modern practices. Now, what are the challenges of modern application? Yes, there must be challenge, isn't it? There must be challenge. What are those challenges of modern application? People must resist change, isn't it? They want it to be as it is in the beginning, as it was in the beginning, Abi? People will always want to resist change. But the way it is going, we will impose the change on them. They have to change by force because we will leave them behind. These are some of the challenges. Capacity gaps in digital literacy. Capacity gaps. People are not knowledgeable. People are not knowledgeable. People need to go for training and be retrained. Whether the training is local or you are going elsewhere, develop yourself to cover these gaps. Yes, problem between how it was before and the new way, the traditional practices and the new innovation. People always want to tell you stories of the old times, isn't it? The world is going forward though. The world is going forward. In the 80s or the early 70s, my father went to London, sent by government. Government sent him to London. It's not been now. They even sent him to Lagos, said they have it. Government sent my father to London. My father will want to call us. On Wednesday, we will all go and gather in one man's house. The man has phone, that phone that the man has phone. We go and gather there by 5 o'clock. My father will now call. And he will now speak to all of us. Yes, we have to enforce the changes and people must comply. We must give space to rapid societal changes, balancing bureaucratic rigors. We must balance bureaucratic rigors. One of the chairman of bureaucracy just left us now. Who holds on to bureaucracy? This how it is. Now, we have seen the challenges. What is the way forward? What is the way forward? So for us to step forward to the modern and inclusive practice of continuous capacity building, continuous development. When phone came, it was a 3310, isn't it? Well, we use Motorola, we use all those other phones. All those phones. But now we are moving forward, isn't it? Now with your phone you can do a lot of things. You can do business. The world just goes on. You must continue to develop yourself technologically.
Financial regulation.
You must continue to develop yourself. Because it should not be me. Every time I discover this young man. When I want to do some kind of things, I will call a young man. That is it. Then yes, we must continue to engage. We must continue to engage because there are things we still need to know. As the reform is going on, involve everybody. Let everybody know the new direction we are facing so that everybody will key into that direction. Yes, adopt technology. We must adopt technology because that's the way to go. Oh God. I keep remembering these things, I don't know. do we know what they call radio room? Huh? Radio room. Alpha, Delta, Niger, Delta, Lima, Echo. That time we want to send a message to Warri. Want to send a message to Warri. To maybe the military barrack in Warri. We have the radio room here in government house. We will write the message. We'll go and give it to the radio people. Alpha, Delta, Lima, Echo. Echo, this is S3 Force Trucks. He will be reading the radio, the message on radio. Once somebody is in Warri, who understands all these jargons, we will write. Who get that time now? Who has that time? Text message. Abi? Everything don't go. Or one message put about group, everyone don't receive it. Who has that time for that radio, long radio message? You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah? So as the world is evolving, as we are taking this new dimension, everybody must go along with it. Engage everybody, give them reasons why they need this new development. And we must monitor performances. We must monitor performances. It's not your upper form and the end of the year, just pass you, everybody is passed, everybody is happy. No, we must monitor. For there to be efficiency and effectiveness, we must monitor performances. And there must be the will, strong political will and administrative support for us to move forward with this regard. In concluding, I would say public service rules remain indispensable. The rules remain indispensable for discipline, accountability, and professionalism. Effectiveness depends on continuous review. For it to be effective, we must continue to review it to meet modern times. Faithfully implement it, align it with modern realities. That's what I'm saying. Emphasis. Then strategic application must balance stability with innovation, discipline with flexibility, traditional with reform. Traditional with reform. And we must be responsive, ethical and performance-oriented public service is very important to achieving national development objectives and meeting citizens' aspirations in a rapidly changing world. Thank you.